Welcome back to Think Time Theory. Sorry. T3. That's easy to say.
Triple T's.
T3 Vlogs.
Yes.
My name is Ed.
My name is Azmi.
And we want to welcome back to this next episode. If you watched the previous one, I encourage you to go back and look at the previous watch that we showcased. We're going to be talking about my second GMT watch.
Of course.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So what do you have?
Actually, I have it on my wrist. Take it out real quick.
And it's one of your many watches that I always see it on your wrist.
Yeah. I love this watch. As I do all my watches. But this one gets a lot of time.
This one gets a lot of TLC from you.
Yeah. So this is the Rolex Explorer II. This one I know the reference number. This is the 16570.
Okay.
From 2010. 2010,
right.
Yeah. So this is my second GMT. As opposed to the first one was more like a little bit of a dressy watch, right?
Yep.
This one is more sporty, as you can see. This
Yeah.
is actually considered a field watch.
Of course.
Yeah. So do you know the story of the Explorer II? You know, Rolex, they have a lot of history in all their watches, right?
Tell me as if I don't even know.
So Rolex first came up with the Explorer name back in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like 1953. When they summited Everest for the first time, one of the watches that they took up there was a Rolex.
Mm-hmm.
And different than most people believe, was not an Explorer yet. It was a regular Oyster Perpetual white dial,
Okay.
time only, of course, not like this, was time only. That after they successfully summited Everest, they came up with the name Explorer, and that's
Okay.
where the line
Oh.
Explorer came. Yeah, yeah.
I see.
Now this one, Rolex has two different Explorer watches in their collection. They have the Explorer, or what people say, what people call the Explorer 1, and then they have the Explorer 2, which is this one here, which actually came out in 1971 for the first time.
Right.
Yeah. So this one is like an upgrade, you may say, of the first one.
Mm-hmm.
More functions, has a GMT complication. The very first one that came up in 1971, it was not supposed to be a GMT. The reason that it had a 24-hour hand was for the people that go inside caves, right?
Okay.
I think it's called spelunking.
Spelunking.
Yeah. But, you know, they're going to be underground for extended period of times, right? So they wouldn't know when it's daytime or nighttime outside.
Right.
So the 24-hour hand would let them know if it's actually daytime
Yeah.
or
Okay.
nighttime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the reason. Now, after later iterations, they actually made a GMT complication, but the initial thought of it was AM/PM indication, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Spelunking.
spelunking. Yeah.
Just like
I think that's the name.
Wasn't that the spelunking Christian Bale said in Batman?
Probably, yeah. He was in the caves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the cave. He was in his lab with Morgan Freeman.
Ah, okay.
And then
I don't remember.
He found out about the suit,
Right.
and then Morgan Freeman asked,
Mm.
"What do you want to use it for?" He said, "Spelunking."
Spelunking.
Yeah, spelunking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I know what excuse me, spelunking means.
Yeah. So
Going
that's
to the
supposed to
caves.
be the sport of caving, you know?
Cave
Yeah.
discovery.
Yeah, exploration.
Yeah, exploration.
Yeah. So
Super nice, man.
the first one that came out, of course, it was a regular black dial. But this one, later on, I think people that were like maybe complaining of the legibility of the black dial in low lighting conditions.
Uh-huh.
So Rolex came up with the white dial, which they called the Polar.
This is nice.
Hence the name, the Polar Explorer.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So it has a white dial, very crisp white dial, and if you notice, the markers are actually white gold covered in some sort of black PVD for high contrast. So it's
Okay.
very legible at any angle. Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Super nice. I will see you wearing this watch.
Yeah. I like this watch a
Yeah.
lot. It was one of my favorites. Not only because, you know, the history of it, which you know that I love historical
Yep,
pieces.
of course.
But I also love the fact that it's so functional. You know, like my family lives in Puerto Rico, and I also have family in the U.S. So the GMT hand actually helps because when I'm working, you know, or when I'm home, I'm not really sure if it's a good time for me to call home, right?
Yeah.
So I look at the watch and I know if it's daytime or nighttime. You
Right,
know?
right.
Because the time difference right now, I think it's 9 hours, so it's a
Right,
big
right.
difference. Yeah.
You know, you are one of those, one of the few guys, or maybe the only guy that actually uses a watch for its function. You know.
Yeah, I mean, to me, you know, I love the watch for the design, but I also appreciate the watch for its intended function. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it has the outer bezel, as you can see, 24 hours, so you can definitely use it as an AM PM for local time, or you can use it as a GMT for, you know, home time and, you know, away time. So it has a date, as most Rolex do. And yeah, to me, the size is perfect. I used to own the newer version, but I thought the newer version was a little bit too chunky for my liking.
Right.
So I ended up getting the older version.
Chunky meaning
It's
thick-
bigger and
thicker?
thicker. Bigger,
Oh,
and,
bigger
thicker.
and thicker.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
This one is, I think Rolex advertises this watch as 40 mm, but it's actually more like 39 mm. And the new one is 42 mm.
Right,
So it's quite a bit bigger. I mean, 2 millimeters,
doesn't sound
it doesn't sound like it is, but
Yeah.
in the world of watches, 2
Yes.
millimeters make a big difference.
make a
Yeah.
big of difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the strap.
Yeah. As I said many times, I'm not really into metal bracelets. So I ended up putting in this kind of like parachute, stretchy kind of material.
Very
a-
comfortable.
Very comfortable, from a company called Erica Straps.
Maybe
with-
we can put the description of
Yeah,
where you buy.
super awesome company, man. She customizes every piece to your wrist size.
No way, really?
Yeah, so you send them the details of your wrist size. She will cut it to fit your
So
wrist,
it's made to order.
made to order. And also, if you can see here the engraved design, this you can also choose. Of course, you have to pay a little bit more of a fee,
Right.
but you can put like a lot of different military.
Insignias.
You can put. I wouldn't say everything you want, but you can put
whatever they have.
your initials. You can
Right,
put maybe the reference number. Of course, due to trademark or registered trademark, you cannot put Rolex or Omega, because then she's using a name that she's not authorized to use.
Yeah.
But you can probably put the reference number. For example, in this case, you can put 16570, and it would be fine.
Right.
This one specifically is a military symbol that I chose that I thought was pretty cool. I think it's from the U.S. military, so it's nice.
And I like this kind of stretchy material
Super comfortable.
because for my wrist, it's like in between sizes, you know. So sometimes it's too tight
Right.
and it's too loose.
Yes.
You know, when you have this kind of stretchy material, fits.
They are very good quality, high quality. They're a little bit on the pricier side, but to me, they're completely worth it. I think this would probably cost you 80 euros.
Okay.
And then if you want to include the customized engraving,
Right.
it goes up another 20 euros. So
Right.
you're talking about 100 euros for this strap.
Right.
So,
It's
but
a bit
to me, it's
pricey
worth
though.
it. Yeah, to
It's a
me,
bit pricey.
to me, it's worth it. I mean, the quality. If you can feel it, it's not super loose. That it's like very
It's-
comfortable, but it is strong enough.
It's not the low quality
Yeah,
kind
no,
of
it's very good,
stretchy strap, but this is like really, really, it's tough. You know, you wanna bend it. I'm putting a lot of effort down here.
Yeah,
You know, yeah, it's really nice, man.
yeah.
Yeah,
So this is my field watch / GMT watch.
and how
Rolex Explorer.
much? What's the price on this?
They have been going up in price quite a bit, actually. A couple of years ago, they used to be going for about $5,000.
Okay,
Now they're going around 7,000 to 9,000, or maybe even higher if it's on worn condition. Yeah. So they're creeping up in price.
right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So, Thank you very much for sharing. This is a very, very nice watch.
Yeah.
And again, I would like to say, you know my preference. And if I say I like a particular watch, especially luxury watches, which I don't have any,
Right.
this would be one of those,
Yeah.
right?
It's very cool.
It's very, very
cool.
nice.
If you're gonna, if you're gonna get a Rolex that has, functionality, it's not too flashy, which is another thing that I really don't like about. I like high-end watches, but I don't like extremely shiny and show-offy kind of watches.
Yeah,
I like a little bit of a low-key kind of watch.
Yeah, yeah.
Except, like, of course, if you get a gold watch is a
Yeah.
gold watch. So, but you
Yeah.
cannot do anything about it. But if I'm gonna get a steel watch, I don't want something like super shiny and like look at me kind of watch.
Yeah, in your face.
It's more low key. Like most people, when you go, like if you look at it right now, right, you're not like a really like a watch aficionado, right? So if you look at this watch from afar, you wouldn't think that it's a Rolex.
Yep.
That's what I like about it,
And for me, I wouldn't say eye for detail, but I like certain things about something that is slightly different in that watch.
Yes.
The one that caught my eye is that GMT hand, with the red,
The red hand.
red hand.
Same thing.
Actually, I only noticed like about 2 minutes ago when I did that.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it from here because
Yes.
it was from a different angle. But now that I've seen it, man, you want to sell it to me
Yes.
for Costa?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much. We are doing a back-to-back episode.
We'll
Of
keep going.
course, each episode will be featured weekly and hopefully on Wednesday. So I don't know whether this episode will be during the week of Christmas. If it is, Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
But if it rolls over to 2024, right?
Yep.
I would like to say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
All right.
And remember, any questions, any comment, post down below.
Right. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye now.